Name me 3 things that you've done in the last minute.
I knew! You sly little thing. Well, you answer. You go first. You're the star of this show.
You did your earrings?
I did my earrings. I changed the toilet roll for the crew. And I tried to ring up a major musical star's agent, I think. So those 3 things, they all fit in 1 minute.
No spoiler alert there.
No.
I thought you were going to the name.
No.
People don't write, they don't read titles anymore, so they don't have any idea who's going to be on this episode.
No, do you care?
I read the title of the show that I'm clicking on. Yeah, I do.
Are you clickbaity guy?
No.
Toma?
I don't like clickbaits.
I'm so old, I don't even know what that means. Like, emotionally, spiritually.
No, like a title if it goes, Hollywood star now, guess what they look like now?
No, never. You?
Absolutely do. 100%. And it annoys me because on Instagram and Facebook, I think, there's a little window of threads now. And apparently threads is where the boomers live, okay? That's what I'm told.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
And I see this link and it says, unbelievable video of man...
And then you click on it.
Skateboarding with guinea pig. And I'm like, I gotta see this. I gotta see it. And
I feel so boring right now when you put it like that.
I click on it all the time.
Yeah.
And then it shows like, well, then you have to install Threads.
Yes.
Right? And then you go like, I can't be bothered.
Thank you for asking me, Simon. Yes, I am now officially on Threads.
Very small French.
So, but apparently Threads is like, because the crew that I go around with on tour, much younger. I mean, very unlike you two. You know, there's a big age difference between you guys.
Yeah, but even younger.
You are like middle age.
Yeah. Yes, we are.
Thank you.
Are you happy with your ages?
Yeah, it's good. This year is good. Next year, I don't know.
What happens next year?
The big 40?
Big 40.
Wow.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
Do you know what, mate? I'm 52 now.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And I haven't felt a birthday for... 50 I did. But 40's fine, man. You're fine.
Interestingly, you weren't invited.
To what?
To your 50th birthday.
It was in London, actually.
Well, still, we weren't invited.
No, I mean, there's a certain point...
Where, okay.
I took my family away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And...
hostage?
Yes. And I...
Cut that out.
Keep that in. No, I went away.
Oh.
Do you know what? It was the day of my birthday of the 50th. I woke up to loads of SMSs. Well, that's lovely.
Isn't it?
Looked at it and it was like, have you seen Chris Rock? What happened with Chris Rock and
No
Will
way,
Smith? It was overnight. So I'm always, that was my 50th
That's your
birthday.
association, yeah. It's Chris Rock, Will Smith, and then you.
So when's your birthday? October
22nd.
Okay, so remember, listeners, viewers, subscribers,
text me,
clickbaiters, threaders.
Threaders.
On October 22, 2025.
Yeah.
Stay inside because shit is about to happen.
Oh, yeah.
What birthday are you?
27th of July. It sounds like I'm blind.
Sounded like you were at passport control.
Might be true.
And you couldn't actually remember it.
It's not like that. When people ask me, because when you asked about the age, like, do you think about it or something like that, I literally have to go to my birth year and calculate it. That's how little I think about, like, ages, generally speaking.
Good for you.
It's not just for me, just like for anyone, people, cats, dogs, whatever.
But cats have 9 lives, don't they?
Yeah, that's that's what they say.
I hope you don't try that.
If you've ever tried it, but
imagine if you were a cat.
Yes, please.
It's almost like you've waited for this the whole of your life.
Finally.
Jeez, I'm going to play a cat.
Well,
You've got kind of the leather on. If you're listening to this, it's not the chairs. It's Solma just moving her.
Well, the
body.
leather jacket is on for a reason, because of our guest today.
Nice link.
Yeah.
Nice link. Forget the cat imagination.
Incredible.
We are going to move on to our guest now. Someone I've met before. I actually watched a game of football with him. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
A bit weird though. I'll be
Which
honest.
Teams? Huds again?
He's a Newcastle fan, I think, but he's not from there.
Okay, mystery.
One thing though was when our mutual friend went out of the room. I was just there with this rock, this big star.
Yeah.
And I just did that thing where you just keep talking, and your brain's going, just shut up, man.
Yeah,
you're a dick.
Watch the game.
Yeah, just watch it,
Got a bit starstruck, did you?
Yeah, it was just fill the gaps,
Yeah.
And then you shook his elbow and...
Yeah, no. Oh, imagine. It's not the B man.
Okay, it's not the
but
B.
it is
B.
Mr. B. But I not Mr. Bean. Mr. B. That was my Mr. Bean impression. Okay, nothing. He is a fully fledged, and interestingly, I have a connection with him. When I did a tour, Svaria Syndrome, which you can see on YouTube, I was in the van with a young little tech man called Emil, and he loved this special song. He'd broken up with a girl, and we had to listen to this song every single night as we got in the van.
Wow.
And then you cried.
Oh, he was
somebody cried.
really upset. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
did it help?
No. So,
I thought you'd say, well, with this next artist heal in voice,
okay,
stuff happened.
Yeah. So,
of course it helped.
The song was called Let It Go, and he couldn't. He also had a big song called Hold Back the River. I was going to say Dam, but Dam is what thing you would hold back a river with. And he has now got a brand new album out. He's coming to Sweden. He is Mr. James Bay.
Whoop, whoop! Yeah!
Hello, mate.
Hello, mate.
Good. That feels good. Thank you so much for coming on. We're absolutely blown away that you said yes, actually, because you're a busy person.
No worries. Absolute pleasure. Always nice to chat. Nice to see you guys. It's a joy to be here.
Is it incredibly busy for you right now? Are you doing this kind of thing all the time, or do you have like a week of media? Or
I'm doing it quite often at the moment. It's an interesting moment because and it's my sort of fourth experience of it being my fourth album. But like, I spend a lot of time, energy. It's the whole sort of emotional kind of blood, sweat, and tears journey through making the album. Writing the songs, recording the songs, and all of the production and the mixing that goes on. And then this day comes when you put the album out, and everybody says, "Oh my God, wow, how do you feel?" And and between then and the first shows that I do with my whole band in front of a sort of bigger audience, that period is a strangely sort of numb time. It's wonderful. Don't get me wrong. The music is out, and now my fans can enjoy it. But like emotionally for me, it's such the extreme sensations of making the record, and I think they're supposed to be extreme, and then the extreme sensations of walking out onto stage with a band every night in front of lots of people.
Yeah.
They are very, very vivid for the kind of very obvious reasons you'd expect them to be. So this bit in between, I've had a good time actually. The last few weeks I've been playing a little solo acoustic tour, just sort of introducing these new songs to fans. And that's been really great. It's been like a couple hundred people a night, very, very intimate, very lovely experience. So that really sort of helped me, because otherwise, it's a strange space in between. It's like I mean,
like as a comedian, I suppose, apart from like a special, you can keep changing it all the time, but once the album is out, it's there. They own it. You've given it over, you know?
Hey, that's the interesting thing about a special for a comedian, I guess, is that, like, maybe once that's up, well, you tell me, like, do you then carry on? I guess you do carry on touring a bunch of those jokes, but because you know that everybody in the crowd hasn't necessarily sort of seen it. What do you do? Like, is it the way a joke lands is sort of complete. We come to that for a different thing. We come to that for surprise, don't we?
Yeah,
that's what I'm thinking.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You know, we don't come to. We don't run to a music concert for surprise. If we get surprised, we love it.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's a really good version of a song. But like, yeah, they're very similar. I have a very good friend, Russell Howard, who's a great comedian over here, and he.
I know that guy. I was thinking the last time I saw you was at a wedding. It was Russell's wedding.
Oh,
yes, it was. Yeah,
and
of course.
I was talking to these guys, Simon and Sommer, who are both musicians as well, and it's like, at a wedding, is there any pressure that people are looking at you going, go on then, get it, go on, you know?
Well, it's funny at that wedding. Yeah, I didn't stay up too late, and the next day I found out a bunch of my songs had been played over the speakers. Later at night, I don't know. Part of me was, you know what a wedding's like. It's a very kind of informal experience after about 10 p.m.
Oh yeah, exactly. Chaos.
Because I can, look, I get up on stage and I do my thing, but like I'm also, you can probably relate. We both know, the likes of Russell or whoever, like our and all of you guys, like, we get on stage, so we have the ability to be very kind of over the top.
For sure.
And extrovert, but it means we have an extreme ability to be introvert as well. And
well put.
So I am glad.
That's such a fine line as well, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a very, very fine line, and the mood has to be right. So and I suppose typically in any wedding experience, with all love and respect, I'm quite happy to sort of disappear into the shadows after a certain hour.
I understand that there's a big difference as a comedian, whether you don't really go in the studio as much. You play some test shows like you've done, but then you go out, and then it's the big, it's the big old tour. And I see you are coming here to Sweden, 22nd of January.
Whoop, whoop.
Yeah, looking forward to coming to Sweden, and just like it's always a good time being able to sort of get out and around different parts of Europe, and like so it'll be good fun. And I think I'm trying to think when I was last in Sweden with my band. We've done a few bits of festivals and stuff over the years, but like headline shows, I don't quite do that as often. So I'm really looking forward to it.
But you say just Europe. You got North America. You're a worldwide star, man. Let's not mess around. Like let's cut the shit. Let's not narrow down geographically.
Doing a bit of Europe.
Yeah. Might pop over, but also Simon noticed something that with in Sweden. Right?
Yeah, you actually. I don't know if you know this, but and it also might be a subjective truth. To me and my close kind of friends and people that I know, but you actually started quite a trend with the hat and the long hair back in 2015 when you first had it. Like there's a lot of Swedish artists and Swedish guitarists, like musicians,
specifically
that has that look. So you've actually really influenced the kind of the look.
It's funny. I really I feel sort of a bit flattered, I guess, but like it's a funny thing for me to sort of consider. Because I felt like, I was 18 when I decided I was inspired by a great American kind of blues folk singer called Eric Bibb, who actually lives, I can't remember, he lives somewhere in Europe. Anyway, he always wore this hat. It was very similar to this.
There it is.
Yeah.
It was a little bit more like flat brim, kind of like that.
Yeah.
So I was a big fan of him when I was sort of 15 and 16, 17. And so by 18, I thought, what have I got to lose? I wasn't like, he's got a lovely bald head. I've got lots of hair. And, we were never going to look exactly the same.
No.
Which made it okay for me. So I thought, what have I got to lose? I felt, as we do sort of naively or whatever, as a 18-year-old, I was in Brighton on the south coast of England playing open mic nights and stuff, and like busking in the street. And I thought, I want to be sort of recognizable. I want to be I want familiarity in a sort of trademark kind of way. So if people can sort of say, "Oh, I remember this guy. Yeah, wearing the hat with the long hair. Yeah, I remember. I liked him, or maybe I didn't like him."
Yeah.
People would say around 2015, 2016, "Oh, lots of people are now wearing a hat," and I think that can't just be because of me. And then there was a moment actually. I don't know if you have it over there. There's a phone service provider called EE. Just over a decade now. Kevin Bacon, the famous actor, has been the man who's in TV commercials for them.
Yeah.
And it was 2015 or 2016. He was walking down the street in one of their commercials, and I cannot remember the context, but he sort of ran off. And he was talking about how much you could stream music using your EE service. It's incredible. You can listen to a bit of this and a bit of that. And then he throws on a hat and a red guitar and he says, "Maybe you want to hear a bit of Bay." And then he goes, maybe a bit of Britney Spears. And he puts on like a Britney Spears outfit. And I thought, wow, this has become a bit of a thing.
So it wasn't completely subjective. There is some truth to this research, Simon.
Yeah. Wow.
There you go.
I think that your latest album, one thing you're very good at is I've seen you talking about this album, and you talk about the influences, and you've got there's no it's all me. I did this. You talk about like Springsteen, Fleetwood Mac. You've also done a song with Brandon Flowers, the Lumineers. There's other few guest artists as well, and you're very
generous,
nice. Yes.
But generous in this kind of exactly how you were saying. It's like you stand as yourself with your voice and your melodies, but this kind of idea that the creative process, you always inherit something, and then the rest of it comes through this unique filter, which is James Bay, but constantly kind of reminding us as an audience, hey, this guy, this lady, these people came before me, and you run forward with that torch. And I don't know if it's just me, but it feels fresh. It's somehow forgotten, and you're so upfront with it. And
beautiful. It's great, man.
Okay. No, I appreciate that a lot. It's important. I mean, look, I like a lot of the artists that I've referenced. They're not necessarily artists that are having their first moment in 2024 or 2015 or whatever. So they're older artists often, because that's just my sort of taste a lot of the time. I like lots of artists from the present moment. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I think, especially with sort of regards to my first album, my first release, and my first. Everyone else's first experience of me on that broader scale, I wanted to say this is kind of what I'm coming from sonically, what feeds into maybe what you like about my music that you're hearing right now. Also, though, and Gabe Simon, who I produced this new album with, he was really good at reminding me to celebrate my musical community. And what I mean by that is, and that might be that there's references in my sound to sort of Fleetwood Mac and Bruce Springsteen, and there's supposed to be, so I'm glad of that. But I've got the Lumineers on this record, singing on a song. I've got Noah Khan, who's a lad I love, and I've known him since about 2018 because he was signed to the same label that I'm on. He used to open shows for me. He's been on tour and opened up for me, and then this summer I went and opened up for him. And we all ultimately, I think it's nice to appreciate that we share fans, and therefore there's a little community amongst our music, and so I guess I always want to sort of talk about that, to celebrate that, and kind of, I know it's sort of my name on the top of the album cover, but that's just one sort of part and one moment of my whole career and sort of ability to exist as a professional touring and recording artist.
Awesome.
I'm not just here because of me in that respect, I'm here because these fans who like these other artists like me as well.
Definitely.
And by the way, Brandon Flowers made a bit of noise, small noise, but very important to me, in about 2015 when he heard "Hold Back the River," my song, and said this is a song that I think is really great. And he told me that again when we wrote together. He said that was a real song. That was a song of the year for us.
Yeah.
Wow.
If he's making that kind of noise to any of his fans, then that's the community sort of being shared.
Yeah, absolutely. What's the writing process with Flowers? I'm calling them Flowers. I shouldn't be calling them Flowers. But what's the writing process? Do you work together? Are you in your own place sending him ideas, or you're sitting in a Starbucks together, or?
the writing process with Mr. Flowers. We have a mutual friend who had worked at the label I was signed to, but had previously worked a lot with Brandon and the Killers as a band. And he was very in touch with Brandon as ever, and said to me, Brandon, is always curious lately about why he can't find a way to sort of get in and amongst working with newer, younger artists than him. And I sort of put my hand up and said, excuse me, sign me up, please.
Oh, nice.
I guess if you're big like Brandon Flowers or the Killers are, you try not to do anything by half. And that's no disrespect to the sort of process of just sending things, via the internet.
Yeah.
As you can tell, my internet's falling. So I don't really have that option. But like, I went to America it was really fun. Him and Ronnie Vanucci, who's the drummer in the Killers, the sort of the real OG sort of members. They had set up a sort of ski lodge in Utah that they turned into a studio. Ultimately, they brought recording desks in and speakers and instruments, and they had a double height hallway that was they put the drum kit in that very sort of Led Zeppelin way, so they get this massive drum sound. And there was no great agenda, actually, other than to write with each other and see how it went. And I took an idea, took a melody, and very proud to say that melody went on to be in the song that we wrote, Easy Distraction. And and it was very legit. There was no sort of messing about, really. Not to say that there isn't, but, creativity is I don't know, Al, if you've been like in a writing space. Russell's talked a bit about writing rooms for comedy. You sort of, you're all trying to get the balled up paper into the bin while you're having a bit of a sort of whatever chat, and then sort of funny things or whatever may come up out of that. And that can be the atmosphere. But Brandon, he's so sort of lean in his like ability and approach. He seemed quite profound and prolific. He dived into his phone to sort of look at words and sentences and ideas and thoughts and emotions that he'd scribbled down. And we'd get some chords going round, and then he'd get on a microphone and sort of spit them out, and they would sound like beautiful sort of finished ideas.
Awesome. Wow.
So I learned a lot in that respect as well about just going for it, which is the hardest thing in the world, especially when you're opposite your hero.
You haven't got kids, no?
I have one small 3-year-old daughter.
Okay, because the album's called Changes All the Time, and then the tour's called Up All Night. And I thought there was some connection to diapers or something. Like, you're up all night changing the child. I don't know if that's a subliminal.
It's funny how everything ends up relating back to the experience of becoming a parent, one way or another.
Absolutely. We're really excited that you're going to come to Sweden. Do you have any, like, special rider when you go to different places, Good
question. Well, you know what, actually, there's various sort of corners like Sweden, and I remember this being a similar thing in Norway. Like the sort of spa option in Norway is quite incredible. There's the massage opportunities in Sweden are unbelievable. So like, I'm not saying they're like right there on my rider, but like they kind of are in my head, at least. Like,
you should put them down on paper.
That's really nice. But isn't a rider just to make sure?
To make sure that that
they look at it,
that the booker has looked at all the stuff, right?
Yeah, we've had that before. We've done that. I've had a tour manager in the past do that kind of thing.
Yep.
And sort of say, congratulations, you made it to the bottom of the rider.
Exactly. That's it.
Thank you so much for reading this. We really appreciate that, and blah blah blah. It's just always a nice touch. But like, God, riders are a funny thing. They sort of, as much as anything, they can just make you feel a bit at home, because it's some of the same stuff, broadly speaking, every time that you turn up in a different dressing room, sort of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I have ginger and lemon, and it's like I'm asking for, hobbits and stuff. People are like, what the hell are you asking for this? It's just. And, I get called Mariah Carey for some reason, but it's just a throat thing, I've got my little...
you use your voice.
I've got my little pipe, the little woo,
I know it. No, I know that stuff out. I like, like, it's the projecting that you do, I'd imagine, as someone who speaks on stage. I know, like, because you and I can both come off stage and, like, speak gently, and it feel a lot more sort of comfortable. And you've been talking, and I've been sort of singing, and you just need, like, that stuff, that honey and lemon, all that stuff, or else you just just water is sort of fine, but it's also like you need to go further than just give your voice what it needs. You need to be a bit nice to
it. For sure.
We've been actually listening to your album the whole morning, and I've been just like, I know you have the voice, but I'm like, this guy. So we're thinking of another great singer from an older tradition. We've been thinking about Frank Sinatra, and Simon,
Wow.
you got a hold of his
Yeah,
old school.
dressing room writer.
Yeah.
But I have it on. Did you have it on your phone as well?
It was basically. It was. He asked for absolute vodka. That was the connection, wasn't it? Let's, which is a Swedish 6 boxes of Kleenex.
Poor guy.
This is the one that confused us. All soda, all rooms, 75% diet.
All soda, all what?
All rooms.
Oh, 75% diet. So he wants Coke in Coca-Cola.
Yes.
Is that the thing?
That might be it. Yes.
Because I got completely confused. I thought he would like mix Diet Coke with regular Coke to 75%.
That kind of thing happens. I mean, it sounds to me like he wants like 4 cans of Coca-Cola in every room, but 3 of each of them to be.
Yeah,
There's a bit of maths
that's
for you.
it.
He
That was
wants
my theory
a
as
colour
well.
TV as well. I mean, he's asking too much in these days, isn't he?
When I'm trying to remember when I love that request because like when did he die? Did he die in the?
Like 98 or something, 99 or something.
So for a while, a colour TV had been a sort of real thing for a good 15 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like it was still a bit of a sort of posh. Yeah, it's Frank Sinatra. He can have
He
what he
can
wants.
have it, yeah, and he asked for a phone,
Yeah, with a dedicated line.
dedicated line, probably to Marilyn. Let's be honest,
That sounds some sort of a secret love story type of
Yeah.
a thing.
It's time for Al's advice. Alpitcher answers a question from the audience, along with AI Pitcher, our virtual stand-in who thinks they're Al.
We get these papers,
Lovely.
look, and then
There it is.
this is known as Al's advice. Okay, so and it's your advice as well. Let's not, it's more important we hear your advice. But my name always gets mixed up with AI at the moment, so it's Al AI. So we have AI's advice as well. So we're going to give our own advice, and then
AI Pitcher.
so here we go.
Okay.
Hello, Al. Herm or do, which is how are you? As a fellow Brit who's fallen in love with a fiery Swede called Karen, do you have any advice for the move to the wonderful country of Sweden?
Ooh.
Any unspoken rules or especially English culture shocks I need to be aware of? P.S. Do you eventually get used to the direct Swedish bullying? Sorry, I mean flirting. Thank you. This is no shit. Thank you, James from England.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
No. So, James from England.
Thank you for that question. James.
I'm so sorry. Have you got any love advice on Swedish women?
Yeah, I can't speak from any experience at all.
No, you cannot, can you? How do you find the Swedish people? Are they fun?
Yeah, I find them very, very lovely, and I understand as the years have gone by, I've sort of come to understand a bit more that there's a sort of directness.
Yes.
Yes.
That's what he was.
Swedish
Yeah.
bullying. That's right, James from England.
Well, I don't know. I appreciate it. I think it's. You end up knowing where you stand immediately.
Well, yeah,
Ah,
that's
right.
what I would say. I think they're very low on small talk. They just don't get it. They'll tell you.
Well, I've met a couple of Swedish people when I've been over there who almost, in hindsight, I start to think when you say they're low on small talk, there's some lovely people from the label who have sort of, I'm thinking in hindsight, wow, they were really working hard at a bit of small talk there. We got to, because as a British person, like we live and die by sort of small talk. God, we've got to have small talk. Or else
Absolutely.
everything's just on bottom.
Yeah. So here's the AI's advice. Hey, James, how am I? This is a bit weird because he is James. Well, I'm surviving, still processing the fact that Swedes consider lukewarm tap water a refreshing drink. Welcome to Sweden, mate. You've got a fiery Swede named Karen, so you're already ahead of the game. Survival tips. First off, the fika culture. Do you know what fika is, James?
I've heard that word a lot, and I can't remember what it is.
It's having a coffee
with a cookie
with
or
a cake or
bun
something.
or
That's
cake,
when
yeah.
a lot of things get sorted in this country.
That's the small talk.
Yeah.
So that's something you walk on stage at the gig. I don't know what you're going to open with. Maybe go on. Maybe that is.
Oh, nice one. Oh, very good.
Yep. And then you
Fair
go.
play.
You do go on, and then you go. Shall we fika Sverige? And they'll lose their shit, mate. Right?
What? So if I just say, "Shall we fika"?
Yeah.
No. Maybe later on. Who's having a fika later? I think it'll do all right.
Yeah, that do
That'll
very
do
well.
all right.
Okay,
Very well.
This is good to know. Appreciate it.
Unspoken rules. Be prepared to queue for everything. Swedes love queues like the British.
I don't know if we actually love a queue. I think we're furious about queuing, but it must happen.
And it's that kind of anger behind someone, you know, that kind of the British
really.
and the Swedish reaction of like, you know, the tut-tut.
It seems it doesn't matter if there's like 8 people ahead of you. It's the one in front of you. You're like, why are you?
Yeah, the hot breath on the neck. Swedes can be direct. Karen will tell you if the trousers are weird or she's eaten garlic, and you'll think she's bullying me. No, she's flirting. The more insults you get, the more in love she is. Get used to it. It's like British sarcasm with better furniture. Good luck, James, and may your fika be strong. That's AI.
That's
AI
AI
picture.
picture.
That is actually taking over my brain because that's a lot better than I would have done. We've had so much fun with this. This has been amazing. So happy that your album is great. I'm so happy to learn your process and if I ever meet the lead singer from the Killers, I will call him Mr. Flowers. But hopefully we can come and see your show. And
yeah, please, guys, please come to the show in Sweden when I get over there. It'd be lovely to see you properly and to be able to talk to you not via my appalling Wi-Fi. Apologies once more.
No, Ingen Fada.
For James.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, man. That was James.
That was James.
That
Living
was
in a
James.
new house.
I never know how to do coming out of these things when the guest leaves.
Yeah. But
Because
we applauded him away.
yeah, we did, but like
Yeah.
normally when someone leaves, you
get
just talk shit about them, don't you?
Well, this time around, we don't actually have anything negative to say.
No,
that
nice
was
guy, right?
great
Sweet
talk.
soul, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think he sometimes wants to be? We didn't get this question out, but wants to be the bad guy.
Bad guy. You know I'm bad.
Yeah.
I'm bad. Sorry, I got the leather jacket on.
Yeah. No, I don't think so, actually. I don't think he wants...
I think
don't
he
think
is
You're
bad.
Simon's a nice guy as well, though.
Yeah, but I think you guys are bad. But you're like bad at being like kind. You know, like vulnerable. Like you don't
Yeah,
you
maybe
don't
that's it.
hide out your kindness.
Mm.
You know?
Who are you talking about? Both of us.
Not
or Simon?
You. No, about James Bay
Oh,
and
right.
Simon. Not you.
Not me. I am bad, am I?
You're bad, but you're a different type of bad.
No, but
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for listening to this final ever episode. There will be no more after being called bad, but you're a different kind of bad. That's
my God.
No, but I
bad.
guess...
Verging on, that is verging on asshole. That's
Yeah.
what was just said.
No, but I guess you have your outlet in with the stand-up comedy.
Yes, I do.
No, but that's your way kind of to say stuff that you
Yes.
wouldn't normally say, I guess. And
Yeah.
as a musician, I don't know. For me as a drummer, I get my bad thing out on hitting the drums. I guess I've always...
Don't get your bad thing and hit the drums. Honestly, that's what got you banned from Sweden Rock.
Yeah.
Yeah, continue to be good, people. And if you are a good person, come and watch me on tour. Alpitcher.com. Those tickets are flying out of
they are.
the windows
And
like
shelves.
a moth that doesn't like the light.
What a beautiful
What's that,
image.
James Bay? You want to use that lyric? Yeah. Hold back, the moth doesn't let it go. We'll cut that bit out.
Yeah.
That's great.
It's such a joy with you two.
Thank you.
I won't. Wait till this recording ends. But I've got
I'm already
things to say.
fired, so-
No, absolutely brilliant. Thank you, Soma. Thank you, Simon. Thank you to
Thank
all
you,
the
Al.
listeners, all the viewers.
Thank you, all the listeners.
If you've listened to this far, like the rider, this was for you.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Puss, puss. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hey, door. Hey, door.
Get your tickets to Al's new tour at alpitcher.com. This podcast was produced by Soulside Studios in Stockholm.